Hello my viewers, news from MSN. Today, August 26, 2026. See, my dear viewers, some people, as we know, do believe that they are the best of the best. Only hard to understand for what reason they are best of the best. They did not prove us that they are best. They did not prove us that they even common, good, traditional people. Everything we know about certain people who like to get into the spot, they just bring a ridiculous respond of ridiculousness, I would say, of how ridiculous it is that they are so much from what? They're looking for a spot from what kind of deal? I mean, there has to be some genie or jinn sitting behind, invisible, and help them constantly. Just because we have them, just because they wanted the spot. Yes, they want to be visible, invincible, and because they are so good, and they just made it to be there for us. And not just there, they just has to be in the top shelf. They decided so. Let's read. Melania's return reeks of scandal, but another MAGA wife has an even bigger problem. Opinion. Okay, here they're sitting at August 20, where she told everybody after long time of absence, supposedly, she decided to come and say that we must miss her. And here she is. I don't know, does anybody miss her? Thursday, two of the most polarizing wives in the Trump administration reared their towel-dry heads. They would be the ghost that is supposedly the First Lady and the imperious woman helping her husband run or ruin the Pentagon. I am just reading the freshest news. Melania Trump, like Jeannie in Major Nelson's office, suddenly materialized in Rose Garden Thursday. They have a sense of humor, those who wrote this. It was her first public appearance in quite some time, and only her 38th appearance of the year by one estimate, and she tried to joke about it. Good afternoon. I heard you missed me. Here I am. Yes, that's what only 3 sentences she said to the public. Oh no, Melania, we don't miss her. And that's because you add nothing to the actual role of being First Lady. Traditional First Ladies pick a cause and devote their time and energy to promoting it. Nancy Reagan had just say no, however flawed. Barbara Bush had literacy. Michelle Obama had childhood nutrition. Melania had be best. but to the best of my knowledge, she never talks about it. So yesterday she spoke about fostering the future. A foster care initiative that I guess she is switched to. She resurfaced alongside 2 million. Yes, she gives to foster care 2 million. Donation, what a surprise, which seems worthy. Yeah. Hey, I give credit where credit is due, but why now? And why suddenly try to take the spotlight? Yeah, why? She has some legacy in some photo images. This photo reporter, Bartiroma, I guess she's sitting here. Well, she is up to age. Actually, she has to be retired too. But suddenly, recently, I just don't put everything on my blog. She had through some blogger said that she had enough of those lying. Everything she find out and discovered by herself, that she was placed for a long time in a very lying business. Here she is. Well, better later than never, right? We can only answer to her. Because this initiative, am I reading from the right spot? Yes, it was there. Why suddenly try to take the spotlight? We talked about Melania. Because here is a continuing article. Because this initiative conveniently arrived just as the media and the inquiring minds of the public were going gaga over someone else. That someone else is Natalie Harp, aka the human printer or human Binky, who has apparently been busy taking care of Donald Cartridge. Metaphorically and perhaps literally replacing the cartridge inside the box or wherever it is, above Donald's derriere or derriere. She has become impossible to ignore, reportedly so eager to stay near him that she once climbed onto the trunk of an SUV to keep pace with his motorcade during a foreign trip, and prominent enough in the president's orbit that certain US senators crack about her. Certain United States senators crack about her drew a furious MAGA backlash and a storm on social media. Well, every step of such a visible people create a really, especially a step near such a controversial people, create a really stormy response around in the environment, right? It's my addition. Melania's timing after a long disappearance, ending the same week Harp dominates headlines, is either a remarkable coincidence or a very deliberate one that most likely involved a bribe, because everything is transactional with Melania. We're still talking here about Melania, and I read the article. She does not do anything for free. it's Melania. Amazon paid $40 million to acquire her documentary, which was the most expensive documentary licensing deal in history, plus another $35 million to market it. A film that limped to a roughly $16 million at the box office. Trump's own 2025 financial disclosure listed $10.71 million licensing fee tied to the project. In other words, Melania not only doesn't do it for free or for a fair price, she is also a poor return on investment. How Trump's family will gonna digest it? It's already, I'm thinking. Consider this: before the documentary, campaign finance records showed Melania collected $250,000 for a single 222nd log cabin Republicans fundraiser and another $237,500 for a 2024 log cabin event at Mar-a-Lago. The appearances were quick, in and out, and she did not even have to leave home for one of them. If anyone knows of similar deal, please sign me up. Yeah, it's a really sharp sense of reality in this, all written by that gentleman who wrote this whole article. Yeah. So if I am thinking about this currently, the log cabin fundraiser were held to plain Melania? Then they talk about Hegseth a little bit somehow. Brought him to this story. And his wife, supportive wife. All right, I focused my camera, you could read this all. I just try to find the best places to read for my viewers. Here. Melania can keep phoning it in from Mar-a-Lago because, like her husband, she could give a rat's ass about average Americans. Well, how do you think, my dear viewers, I'm talking already, how do I have to feel after reading so much information about this first couple? They are both absent from the reality. Now they talk about lower here next about a wife of the Hegseth, Jennifer Hegseth, should take a page from Melania and be absent herself, because her husband is going to be remembered as the worst defense secretary in the history. And she's going to get some of the blame for just how badly she managed it. I guess as a wife. We can add it too. And here's some. I think this is... well, I thought this is a video, but this is not a video. I thought it is a video. Maybe lower is a video. Here, this one is a video. The other was just a picture.
Let's start with the big one, Melania's pro-choice stance. Yep, you read that right. In her book, she makes it clear that women should have the right to choose, writing, "It's imperative to guarantee that women have autonomy in deciding their preference of having children, free from any intervention or pressure from the government."
I want to decide what I want to do with my body. I think I don't want government in my personal business.
Naturally, this didn't go over so well with some Republicans, especially the anti-abortion activists.
I'm proud to be the most pro-life president in American history.
But get this, Trump, who's been all over the map on this issue, actually told her to speak her truth. He said in an interview, "We spoke about it, and I said, you have to write what you believe."
Yes, he knew my position and my beliefs since the day we met.
You've got to hand it to him for standing by his wife on this one, even if it ruffled a few feathers in his party. Of course, Melania didn't shy away from defending her son Barron in the book. Remember when Rosie O'Donnell suggested that Barron might be autistic? Melania wasn't having it. She was furious and called Rosie out for cruelty.
Toxic atmosphere.
While Melania said there's nothing wrong with autism, she made it clear that Barron is not autistic. And just like that, she used the experience to launch her White House anti-bullying initiative, Be Best. Take that, internet trolls.
We need to see what will happen in few months and what next year will bring.
Even though Melania and Trump don't see eye to eye on reproductive rights, they're pretty much on the same page when it comes to the 2020 election. In her book, she echoes Trump's claims that the results were a mess and that all the votes should have been counted right on election day. Sound familiar?
I was listening to different people, and when I added it all up, the election was rigged.
As for January 6th, she says she didn't speak out about the Capitol riot because she didn't know what was going on at the time. But if she had, she claims she would have condemned the violence. Sure, Melania, we'll take your word for it.
I do what I think is right. I know I will get the criticism from the public or from the media.
Toward the end of her book, Melania opens up about one of the scariest moments of the campaign trail, Trump's assassination attempt on TV. Yep, she was at home in Bedminster, New Jersey, when the first attempt happened at a rally in Pennsylvania. She describes it as chaos unfolding, with gunfire, Trump reaching up to his head, and Secret Service diving in to shield him.
So it was really frightening. And, the life stops in that few minutes. Was really very difficult.
And here's the kicker. She says it felt like eternity before she could finally get him on the phone. Donald and Melania Trump may now be celebrating 20 years of marriage, but their journey to the altar wasn't exactly smooth sailing. Like any relationship, theirs had its fair share of bumps, some pretty dramatic ones. That easily. Within a week, he had managed to win her back. According to his butler, Tony Senecal, when she came back, I just carried her suitcases back into the mansion, laughing. Well, all right then. Melania's team shot back, saying Ivana was just trying to sell books during her promo tour for Raising Trump. Ouch.
I don't really care, you know?
So when Ivana passed away, people were buzzing. Would Melania even show up at the funeral? Turns out she did. And sometimes actions speak louder than shady comments.
I think it's fantastic.
Now let's get into Melania's special relationship with Ivanka, Trump's daughter with Ivana. Things were frosty when Trump was in office. Ivanka was trying to play first lady, while Melania handled Barron's school stuff, leading to some firm boundaries from Melania. Think of it as the White House edition of Game of Thrones, but no dragons, just icy stare. There's that cringe-worthy moment when Trump attempted to hold Melania's hand while welcoming French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife, Brigitte, to the White House. Trump tried everything, tapping, curling his pinky, you name it, until Melania finally relented after what felt like an eternity. Changed the passwords.
I just try to scroll
what do you
further.
Is Melania really unhappy with Donald? Or is she just not a fan of PDA? Little is known about Melania Trump's friends. Why is that? Maybe she doesn't really have any. Or perhaps keeping them isn't her strong suit.
It is not concern and focus of mine.
Take Stephanie Winston Wolkoff, for example. Stephanie once considered Melania more than just a friend. Committee tried to make me the scapegoat and to falsely accuse me for the overspending of... It's a rare glimpse of the First Lady in a softer, more approachable light. And she pulled it off flawlessly. A year later, she turned heads again with a bold red trench coat on Valentine's Day. This 1970s-inspired piece by Les Reveries was paired with navy Louboutin pumps and Saint Laurent sunglasses. It wasn't just a coat, it was a statement. Melania was channeling pure power in that look.
Well, I studied design and architecture, and it's my passion. It's in me.
At the Presidential Medal of Freedom ceremony, she wore an Elie Saab haute couture cocktail dress that reportedly cost a whopping $7,450. This semi-sheer tea-length gown was the definition of glam. Talk about living the high life. When Melania welcomed the Colombian president and first lady to the White House, she wowed everyone in a hot pink Fendi houndstooth coat. It was like she was channeling a real-life Barbie. To imagine the queen.
Why did you wear it?
I wore the jacket to go on the plane and off the plane, and it was for the people and for the left-wing media who are criticizing me, and I want to show them that I don't care.
Melania Trump is definitely a stunner, and Donald Trump never misses a chance to sing her praises.
She looks like the most beautiful actress ever to live. It was a drawing. And actually, she looked very much like our great First Lady, Melania.
But recently, some throwback photos of Melania have sparked a whirlwind of plastic surgery rumors. A particular post on X, formerly Twitter, had everyone buzzing, and made Dr. Dan Yamini, a Beverly Hills plastic surgeon, join the discussion.
I was surprised.
Dr. Yamini took a look at Melania's transformation and suggested she might have had some work done. He pointed out that the lifted cheekbones and tighter eyes could be a result of a facelift and eyelid surgery. Plus, her chiseled cheeks and jawline might come from a face and neck lift. And let's not forget her narrower nose, which he thinks could be due to rhinoplasty.
Well, I'm very proud of Melania. She looks amazing tonight. But she always looks amazing.
Also, celebrity plastic surgeon Dr. Gary Matiki estimates Melania might have spent around $45,000 to $50,000 on her look. But back in 2016, Melania told GQ she hadn't had any cosmetic procedures. She credited her youthful look to a healthy lifestyle and good skincare, and admitted she wasn't into injectables because they might damage your face. She even said she'd follow her mom's lead and age gracefully.
It is not concern and focus of mine.
Dr. Yamini, however, believes that if Melania didn't undergo major surgery, she likely opted for smaller procedures, such as hyaluronic acid fillers, to achieve similar results. At 54, she's still a bit young for a facelift, so it's more likely that she's relied on genetics, top-notch skincare, and subtle cosmetic enhancements.
I have much more important things to think about and to do.
Another possibility is fat grafting, where her own body fat is used to enhance volume in her face. And while Melania insisted she's never...
Aren't you tired yet about the subject this video talking about? I'm already tired. That's why I stopped the video. It's all about dresses, makeup, good, stunning look. Well, some people think that this is the most important, or beside of, among all other things, those just to look good, be able to change addresses and talk. You see in the video said that they obviously lying here, and she like to lie too, and she never admitted that she was going through the plastic surgery. But why is this a subject of talking even? Because probably nothing else to talk, just about the looks, you know. That's how it is out there. in the top shelves, supposedly.